We're sending you straight to the coordinates Captain Marvel identified in New York. Dr. Banner has confirmed that the gamma signatures in the area match those of Faustus's weapon. We need to recover whatever intel we can if we're going to find out exactly what's going on down there.
Ready up. Sure I can't change your mind?
Situation is under control. For victory!
I almost felt that one.
More lambs to the slaughter. None will be spared.
Not a problem.
I will not fail. There won't be enough to save you. I'll handle it. Reinforcements inbound.
I feel stronger already.
Vengeance is near.
It's about time. I feel great.
The light will heal you.
We will not fail. Your strikes ring hollow. I've been waiting. Send reinforcement. It is your time.
Something?
You've grounded the helicopter. Excellent. Now you'll need to clean up the rest of Hydra's forces.
No mercy for the servants of Lilith.
Watch this.
Someone get me out of here! By her command. Follow my lead. I've got your back.
The light will carry you onward.
It is time. Target's moving. Burn in hellfire. Position compromised. Engaging target.
done. Seems like that's the last of them.
Last. There are more heads to the Hydra than you will ever comprehend, heroes. This is a minor setback at most.
Well, at least we don't have to listen to you any longer today. I consider that alone a victory. Well done. If Hydra wasn't paying attention before, they are now. Stay sharp.
Count on it. Feeling a chill, Magic?
You could say that. I've been staring at the night sky trying to figure it out.
Figure what out?
You're observant, Hunter. You tell me.
I am not a mind reader, Magic. Speak plain.
You know, Hunter, one of the things I like about you is your intolerance for bull. Even from me.
Stop speaking in riddles and just tell me what is on your mind.
It is not what's on my mind I'm worried about.
What worries you then?
When I was holding the trans-dimensional door for you back there, I sensed something was at the docks with you. Something dark and familiar.
What did you see, Illyana?
I did not see, I said. I sensed something there. But that's not the only thing I sensed today.
Oh?
Something has shifted in Limbo. But I cannot quite put my finger on it. All I know is that whatever is happening is also strangely familiar to me. And when all you knew was darkness and despair growing up, that warm, fuzzy feeling of familiarity is not just a warning sign, but an alarm bell.
I know what you mean. Danger is something I am a little too comfortable with myself. Reminds me of my mother. There is almost a comfort in it.
Yes, you understand. Not many can. I'd like to be left to my thoughts now, Hunter. I still have a lot of thinking to do, while I try to make sense of what I felt at the docks and the energetic shifts that ripple through Limbo. I will let you know if I do.
I need to take you street racing.
Is that like running?
No, in a car. You race through empty streets, pushing your ride as hard as it can take it, and leave the other racers in your dust. There's nothing like it.
As soon as this is over, we shall street race.
All right. First thing, we hit a junkyard for parts. We are gonna put together a real monster on the road.
You do not want to use the Hell Ride?
Nah, it's no fun if you win every time.
I'm glad to see you're getting comfortable with the words of power, Hunter. If you're going to continue our little investigation of the Abbey, they'll be vital to your success.
Investigation?
A side project, but a potentially transformative one. With my blessing, Wanda was working to uncover what may be the most powerful.
Just what in the hell do you think you're doing in here?
Standing in the library?
I've given you free rein so you could get back on your feet, but I never thought you'd pull something like this.
What is it you think I am doing, exactly?
Don't be coy. It does not suit you. I told you how hard it's been since we lost Agatha. Instead of letting it rest, you decide to reopen the wound?
Oh, Sarah. I never thought of this place like that.
Of course you didn't. And now, it's done. Why should I ever stand in your way? That anger wasn't meant for you, dear. You know that, right? Don't hold it against Sarah.
She may try to mask her feelings, but you know she is struggling with what happened. Why are you hiding from her?
For most people, the captivating relationships of their lives are formed over a matter of days and years. Sarah and I spent centuries together exploring this world, fighting the darkness, watching cities and even nations form and then crumble. And yet we persevered, together.
You still have not answered my question.
It may be difficult to understand, but she needs this time. Sending Wanda away, sealing the library, that elaborate memorial she conjured up, she didn't waste any time trying to bury what happened.
You are right. I do not understand.
It isn't up to me to reveal myself. It's up to her to accept what happened and allow herself to grieve. When that happens, we'll see each other again, but not before.
I trust you will do what is right for Sarah. So, what is it you are looking at here?
Yes, we should get back to the real reason I asked you to meet me here. Wanda's journal. The Abbey grounds have a great deal of history. Many of its secrets remain hidden, even after all this time.
Even to you?
Even to me. Wanda had taken to exploring the grounds in search of a strange energy we both sensed. Knowing that Sarah had no intention of waking you to investigate, Wanda felt it was up to her to take your place. Of course, being the clever girl that she is, her notes are written in an ancient, transient cipher that I've only just begun to understand. Have a look at the first entry. I'm sure it still seems a bit cryptic, but Wanda was definitely onto something. If you remember my altar, that's where she was conducting her experiments.
An investigation that involves experiments. Why do I feel like you were going to get me into trouble?
Since when has that ever stopped you? Let's meet out at the altar. I'll try to do a better job of explaining from there. Charlie will show you the way if you've forgotten.
She believes in our purpose.
Like most things on the grounds here, there's more to this place than meets the eye. Do you remember the words I taught you as a child?
Are you going to make me say it?
Humor an old, dead woman.
Hocus pocus.
You haven't lost your touch, dear. The words may be simple, but these plinths won't appear for just anyone. Each represents one of the basic elements, their power activated only by the elemental rods they would normally be holding.
And where are the elemental rods now?
Scattered to the wind, unfortunately. A side effect of Wanda's experiments here.
Let me guess.
That's right. I want you to find the missing rods and return them here. Hopefully, as I decipher Wanda's journal, her notes will aid in the search.
But you have not actually told me what the greater purpose is here. What are we doing this for?
All in good time, dear. After what happened with Wanda, I'd rather you take things slowly. In fact, I don't want you overthinking this little project. There's no rush and you don't have to help if you don't feel like it. But there is one more thing before I head back to the library.
An arcane key?
Just a little something. A token for your efforts so far. The key can be used to open that chest nearby. Like so many other oddities around here, those chests tend to appear before those who deserve them most. Make yourself that person.
That seems intentionally vague.
It's more fun that way, isn't it? I'll be in the library working on the translations if you need me, dear. Good luck.
I should have known you'd wind up here eventually. You were somehow always here as a child.
If only I had known him. And still you masked even this from me. My own father's grave?
It wasn't you I was hiding it from. I've been making a lot of apologies to you lately. Now, they probably don't mean that much. But I am sorry, Hunter. Lilith's relationship with your father went against our ways, our purpose, or so I believed at the time. It was the Elder Gods themselves who first breathed life into us. Human notions like falling in love couldn't possibly be part of their plan.
And then you met Agatha.
If only I'd realized it sooner. I might have been a little kinder towards him, especially at the end.
What happened?
A great sickness came upon this area just before you were born. Your father was one of the first to fall.
With all your power, the two of you, you could not save him?
Lilith was a gifted healer, but this was no ordinary plague. The corruption went beyond his physical body. In the end, there was nothing we could do.
What did Lilith do?
She did what anyone would have done. She grieved. But in her grief, she lost herself, and her grief turned into anger.
Is that when you took me from her?
It wasn't long after that. Things started to fall apart before my eyes. I couldn't see another way out but to run.
The plague that turned her into the mother of demons?
No, this was something else, but cut from the same cloth. Your mother was no longer the woman I knew. The sister I had fought alongside for centuries. She was gone.
I have never heard you talk this way before, Sarah.
It's hard to walk the grounds here without churning up so many old memories. Maybe now you understand why I don't venture out here that often anymore.
You were not affected by the plague?
We were all affected, whether we were among the sick or not. I'm sure there was a time when your mother and I both would have just as soon join the dead than continue to watch the villagers suffer.
I cannot imagine you ever reaching that point.
Lilith may have been the most skilled herbalist in the New World. I saw her perform near miracles with the potions she concocted from the plants in her garden. She was consumed by the idea of finding a cure.
But she never found one.
No, despite her efforts, nothing ever worked.
I can see how that would be a dark time for both of you.
With darker times still to come.
Thank you, Sarah. Your timing may need work, but I appreciate the honesty.
Anything for you, Hunter. Anything.
Tell me about my father.
Believe it or not, you can thank your father for those good looks of yours. There is a striking resemblance.
I only have the faintest memory of him. What was he like?
He was honest. A working man, you could say. Authentic. Of course, I still didn't like him, but that wasn't really his fault. I'm old enough to admit that now.
But he loved my mother?
He loved her, and she was smitten with him. As the story goes, they were happy together. For a time.
Until I came along?
You were an unexpected gift, but a welcome one. Your father was very proud.
I wish I could talk with him now.
I know that feeling all too well, kiddo.
I see you found one of the elemental rods. If you'd like to keep going, you may keep searching for more. I see you found another of our mystic landmarks. These are the Standing Stones. Your ancestors among the blood used them to converse with the Elder Gods.
How does that work?
Members of the blood would gather among the stones and enter a sort of meditative trance. They say the gods would hear their thoughts, but the blood never knew for sure who was listening on the other end. Some of the older texts refer to a series of glyphs etched on the stones, but at first glance they seem to have been scoured clean by time itself.
Could they still be revealed somehow?
You read my mind, Hunter. I suspect the glyphs are still here. They just need the right words of encouragement, if you catch my meaning.
You said something earlier about the blood.
In a world full of mysteries, the Blood have managed to remain even more mysterious than most. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible. But even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
Where did the words of power come from?
While I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods, the words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the Blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well.
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings.
What do you know about the moon seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves, I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person.
Just another benefit of being descended from the Blood. Lucky you, dear.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them. And so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much. But I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she is not buried here.
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wundagore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
And what truth is that?
The truth they are keeping from you. You need only.
Wait! Mother! Where did you... Tony, why do you name everything after yourself?
Well, you seem like a bright person. Why don't you tell me?
Because you love seeing your name and love everyone else seeing your name.
Ouch, that hurts, boss. Do you really think that little of me? I explained the naming thing in one of my Tony talks.
A few moments later.
The intel cache we recovered from Hydra's gunship might seem sophisticated to the casual bystander, but they probably weren't expecting to go up against the likes of me. With Central's help, I can decrypt these babies in no time, providing us a valuable and fascinating glimpse into Hydra's twisted little minds.
A few moments later.
Hunter, my second favorite zombie superhero.
Who is your first?
Tony, on 2 hours of sleep. So, what do you need?
I have questions for you.
Sure, ask away.
Tell me about yourself, Carol.
What in particular?
How did Carol Danvers become Captain Marvel?
During my time with the space program, I found myself involved in a conflict between alien species, Kree and Skrulls. I got too close to a device called the Psyche Magnetron, and it completely altered me. A Kree soldier known as Mar-Vell felt responsible for what happened and took me under his wing. He was a hero in his own right, and we fought beside each other for years. He's gone now, but I took the name Captain Marvel as a tribute to what he stood for. Since then, I've made the name my own.
Who were you before you became Captain Marvel?
Air Force pilot. I used to fly the unfriendly skies before I was attached to the space program. And back then, I was entirely human.
You are not entirely human?
Not since I uncovered actual, for-real aliens. There was an accident with some alien tech that rewrote my DNA, and now I'm half Kree.
I have never heard of the Kree.
Neither had I. They have a space empire. It's crazy to think they've been around far longer than you've been alive.
Your strength is hard for me to fathom.
With all this gamma weirdness keeping Banner in banner form, I'm Earth's mightiest Avenger. Once Thor realized the Hulk was in a class of his own, he was not happy to be in third place. He still challenges me to arm wrestling contests, and loses. He's much less salty since I started calling him Asgard's mightiest Avenger.
How powerful would you say you are?
When someone says we need to call in the big guns, they're talking about me. Just don't say it in front of Bruce. The Hulk is an order of magnitude stronger, no question. But he doesn't have my precision, patience, or reliability. At least, that's how Bruce put it.
That much power. And it does not seem to have gone to your head.
I do get cocky sometimes, but I don't take any of this for granted. And I always remember where I came from. Arrogance is like punching the afterburner with your wheels down.
Tell me about the Avengers.
Sure, what about us?
Do you think your team can find common ground with the Midnight Suns?
Look, I try not to get involved in team politics. I'll work with anyone who gets the job done. I don't care what team they're from.
Do all the Avengers feel the same?
No comment.
How long have you been an Avenger?
Over a decade. Still hard to believe. We've been so busy dealing with one crisis or another, it's hard to mark the time. My coffee tally puts me just shy of 20,000, excluding the cups I forgot to track.
What are your thoughts on your fellow Avengers?
I'm with the team for a reason. I believe in what we do. All of us do. I'm sure you've noticed Tony can be abrasive, but I never doubt his commitment. He and Banner used to fight like cats in a sack. Thankfully, they seem to be past that. And I can't think of anyone better to deal with a mystical enemy than Doctor Strange. He's a little out of sorts right now, what with being pushed out of his home, but he'll adjust.
Thank you, Carol.
Anytime. And hey, if you find the time, we should hang out.
I will consider that.
Of course.
Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others, but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between. But that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me, and you did it anyway.
If I had known it meant this much to you, I would have waited. It was not my intention to defy or hurt you.
Hurt, no. Defy, maybe. At the same time, I know I haven't been very open with you about everything that's happened.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting Spider-Man as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Hunter, I was just looking for you. We need your assistance.
Who is we?
The Esoteric Mystical Order, specifically the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism.
That is an elaborate name.
You can blame Doctor Strange. Oh, I may have rearranged a few words so it spells out emo kids.
Tell me what you need.
Doctor Strange Magic and I are researching a crucial moment in your past, but it's probably better if we just show you. How about it? Ready to uncover one of the greatest mysteries about your life after death?
Lead the way.
Let's do it! So, about the spell that brought you back to life, it worked better than expected, but there are some gaps.
You are talking about my death.
Exactly. The memories of your final moments might tell us how you defeated your mother 3 centuries ago. That could give us an edge this time around.
Those memories are lost.
Maybe not. We think there's a way to recover them. All you're gonna need is a mystical jumpstart.
How would that work?
Doctor Strange can explain it better than I, but if you want the abridged version, ask Magic. And when you're ready to begin the ritual, let me know.
Hunter, I'm glad you're present for the inaugural meeting.
Of what, exactly?
Why, the Knights of Intellect and Dimensional Spiritualism, the Abbey's local chapter of the Esoteric Mystical Order.
Right, emo kids. So, the ritual?
Regarding your resurrection, we had to meticulously reunite your corpus, or physical vessel, with your animus, or spiritual essence.
How does this relate to the ritual?
Animating your corpus was the easy part, but your essence, your thoughts, hopes, fears, and dreams, that was the slipperiest eel.
Does the ritual require eels?
But now, with the plenary potential of Miss Minoru's Staff of One to focus Miss Rasputin's enigmatic energies, I, Doctor Strange,
The ritual?
the Sorcerer Supreme, shall pluck from unreality your mislaid memory, thought lost to time and death. I shall stare those cosmic forces in their many eyes and shout, "Nay!"
Doctor Strange, the ritual. How does it work?
Didn't I just explain? I could start with the fundamental underpinnings of the multiverse theory if it would help.
On second thought, I will ask Magic.
But oh, all right.
Yes?
How does this ritual work?
This is the ritual. You focus on the past, Nico zaps you with her staff, Strange chants and waggles his fingers, then you remember. Maybe.
So why are you here?
Should the zapping, chanting, and waggling go bad, I will open a portal to Limbo and push you inside before the explosion.
There is a chance I might explode.
A very small chance. Unlikely.
How concerned should I be about exploding?
Slightly more than usual.
Does Strange have any other details about the ritual?
Ha! Far too many.
That is all I need to know.
Tell Nico, and don't explode. Boom! little joke. Tiny. Like your chance to explode.
The first part's easy. I need you to focus on your last memories before you fought Lilith.
Will this help me remember?
I can't answer that. When I start, you'll be the one making the repairs. The rest of us are here to keep you steady.
All right.
If you're ready, we can begin.
I am ready.
Now, Hunter, tell us what you...
I raced through the Abbey grounds. Angry. Terrified. It is too late. We were not ready. My foot slips, but I catch myself. I run with my blades exposed. I am completely alone. The moonlight guides my path. My lungs ache. My heart pounds. I rush toward my doom. I cannot. No!
Whoa! We all saw that, right?
I have no words to describe it.
Finally.
Well, how about that? Your final moments are there, just buried deep inside.
It did not work.
Not yet, but we made progress. I'm sure we can figure out a way for you to remember more the next time.
Next time?
Heck yeah! Emo kids meet every lunar alignment, or, you know, whenever we're free on a slow night. Oh, and we need ingredients. Magic will send a list to your spark. If you bring enough, we can refine them into more useful mystical objects. We're done for today, but I'll be in touch about the next meeting. Catch you later.
I have something for you.
Oh?
Here you are.
Good. I don't know where to put this. That is Nico's problem now.
A few moments later.
If I'm being too nosy, Hunter, but I'm curious to know what you think of this modern world you find yourself in.
You want honesty?
I would settle for nothing less.
It is a lot to take in. The sights and sounds. Everything is more intense. I'm still struggling to understand it.
I'm not sure I understand it all myself sometimes. I get lost in a grimoire. The next thing I know, I look up and the culture has completely changed on me.
It all moves fast.
I don't even bother trying to change my hairstyle. I could be outdated in an instant and Tony would tease me endlessly.
How do you hope to keep up with everything happening these days?
I do not concern myself with it too much. What's important will find its way to me. The rest will fall away on its own.
That seems wise.
It's still a big world, Hunter. If you try to focus on everything, you will only get lost. Please excuse me.
Yet another victory for the hunter.
Damn it. You totally ambushed me with that pair of queens. I have to admit, I didn't think you'd be such a formidable poker player. Yet another reason to respect you.
It is just beginner's luck. I'm sure your next hand will vanquish me.
There you go again, being all unexpectedly humble and generous. You're a hard demon to dislike, Hunter. Even if you are beating my butt at Hold'em.
You do not dislike me, Captain?
Don't get too excited. I didn't say I liked you either, but you've got potential.
Deal another hand, then?
I'm all in.
Been watching the way you handle yourself out there, Hunter. You're not bad. I was thinking maybe it's time you and I compare moves.
Moves? As in combat?
More like a friendly competition.
A friendly competition, you say?
Well, recently resurrected teammate competition has less of a ring to it.
The feeling is mutual, Blade.
How about we just fight already?
Before we begin, is there anything else I should know?
Yeah, anything goes. Just don't touch the shades. Now, you want to say it or me?
Say what?
Ding ding.
I appreciate this time away from the forge. Despite Tony's complaints, a bit of soldering is far less effort than wrestling a demon into daily submission.
I understand. Keeping that demon in check is tougher than the others can imagine.
Mr. Reyes can imagine. He's the only one with an inkling of the malignant power within. If we cannot contain it, we must destroy it. Should I ever fall, Mr. Reyes and his spirit of vengeance will know what to do. Which is the lengthy way to say I should relax now and again to maintain vigilance.
You often say it the lengthy way.
I refuse to dignify that with a response. To do so would prove me incapable of brevity, which is quite simply untrue.
You are doing it on purpose, are you not?
Allow me to rebuke your slander with a dozen refutations. Point the first.
Stop.
As you wish.
Here's a weird question. Do you, consider yourself to be a goth?
What is a goth?
It's a 20th century music and fashion subculture. Kinda hard to explain, but it's people who appreciate what others would see as dark or macabre.
Like people who enjoy horror novels and films, and the sad, whiny music you and Magic listen to?
I feel called out. Figured since your mom is the mother of demons and all, you might, identify with being goth too.
No. I wish to be my own person, separate from Mom.
I don't blame you. Not wanting to be like your parents is still a little goth, though.
Or is it a little like you?
Oh, you got me there, Hunter. I like the way I dress. I feel badass.
You should.
Plus, I think I'm stuck. Goth never dies.
What is that strange ripple in the air? It is not quite wind.
I knew you would sense it. It's the transmigration of life essences from one level of existence to the next.
Human souls?
No. Insects, birds, other creatures. The Abbey is a waypoint where the veil between planes is quite thin. During quiet times such as this, you can actually feel it happening. I didn't want you to miss it.
That was thoughtful of you to think of me, Doctor.
If I am anything, Hunter, it's full of thoughts. Maybe too many, swirling around in my head, crashing against each other in a chaotic cosmos of ideas that is the madness of my mind. Reminding myself that I'm just a small part of the whole of creation is a way I calm it. It also reminds us of what's at risk of vanishing completely if your mother gets her way.
Indeed.
But I have a feeling that with a life force like yours in play, that won't happen.
I can't believe someone would do this to me.
Do what?
Someone ate my ramen, dude. I even made the perfect egg to go on top of it, too. It was so beautiful, I almost cried.
A vegan egg?
Yup, so scrumptious.
And now the thief who took it will pay.
You got that right. After all the chili oil I added to it, pretty sure their face would be on fire right now.
Like Robbie's?
Oh, you don't think he took it, do you?
I do not know. It was just a guess.
Look, I don't mind sharing my love for ramen with people. Hell, I'd be happy to make it for anyone who asked. But stealing it from me after I slaved away making a bowl of it? Ugh, only a monster would do that.
I understand. I hope you find who did this.
Oh, I will. All I have to do is follow the sound of someone coughing their guts up. That chili oil is demonic. Ready to head to the emo kids meeting?
Lead the way.
And the emo kids are back for another deep dive into the night of your death.
When can we start?
Soon. Strange asked to lead tonight's meeting. He's prepping the... I don't know what exactly. It involves a lot of weird math. While he's preparing his, the theorems, I guess? You should talk to Magic. She'll explain how we use ingredients.
You already provided ingredients, so it was pointless for Nico to send you. To make up for this, I shall tell you something of mild interest. Remember, ingredients make mystical trinkets. Excess trinkets go to you. I will provide a new list for the next meeting. Check your spark tomorrow. Enough about ingredients. I said more words than Strange. Has he prepared yet? I have plans for after.
What plans?
Solitary plans.
All my preparations are complete. And now for a thorough explanation of this week's delicate divinations. However, Miss Minoru insisted I provide a summary, if you request it.
I want to know exactly what you will do to me.
Wonderful. Our previous attempt to tease out your missing memories was limited by the ritual's pentagonal fundaments.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the concept of a hypercube?
What?
No matter. A hypercube is far too simplistic. We must turn to the humble pentaract. More precisely, a decatyronic inversion of the ritual framework. This shall augment the recovery of your memoria absentis.
Sure.
I've completely lost you, haven't I?
Perhaps you could give me the summary.
We do the same as before, but this time we zap you with more mystical power.
That is it?
That's it. Shall we begin?
Go ahead.
Where do your memories last leave off?
I was running through the Abbey grounds.
Good. Now, focus. And now, wake your mind from slumber.
I burst into the clearing, expecting an army. Instead, I find her. She sits at the center of a muddy circle. For a moment, I wonder if she sleeps.
Tell us, Hunter. Tell us who you see.
I see the mother of demons, herald of the manifold dream. She who tends what dwells beneath. I see Lilith. I see my...
What's happening here?
What, you got a spidey sense too?
I was taking a walk. I heard the chanting.
Crap, I messed up the binding formula.
As I most definitely told you, lemon-scented is no replacement for actual lemon.
What exactly is going on?
The Hunter's resurrection, though miraculous, was incomplete. We're attempting to restore a rather crucial set of memories.
How Hunter killed Lilith the first time.
You're not mad, are you?
I'm not mad. But next time you do this, I'd like to observe.
Of course! Next time.
We should have invited her.
Quiet, you.
Before, I thought this meeting would be useless. Now, an enjoyable kind of useless. So I shall remain.
You are definitely making progress. How are you feeling?
I am fine.
About Caretaker? We never invited her because it seemed cruel to make her relive your death.
I would have preferred to spare her the details, but now she knows.
You're right. If we can't figure out how you defeated Lilith the first time, there's little chance it could happen again. I'll speak with her before the next meeting, smooth things over. And with that, we're done for the day. You leaving?
That is it for me.
Sounds good. See you next meeting.
Does the night sky seem darker than usual?
I had not noticed. Why do you ask?
It's just off somehow. I swear the moonlight on a clear evening is too dim for this time of year. Same with the torches outside the Abbey.
It is all in your head.
Is it? I know what happens in the dark. My concern, as always, is vampires. Darker nights give them opportunity, mobility, and more chances to feed.
That is disturbing.
That's the world I know.
Something smells pungent.
That would be Grandma Stark's famous linguine and clam sauce, with some Tony adjustments.
Grandma's recipe was not good enough?
Well, I loved her to pieces, but she also loved vodka in her cooking, and I can't touch the stuff. Not anymore. I even made sure the Abbey has a dry bar.
What did I do to deserve this honor?
That's just my way of saying thank you for being one of the only Midnight Suns who hasn't threatened to banish me to the Netherworld, empty my jugular, or portal me to the sun. And that was just today.
I apologize on behalf of the other sons.
Oh, it's not all of them. Oddly enough, the guy who turns into the flaming skull-faced demon is a real sweetheart. Just like you, Hunter.
Thanks. Still, the others could be more hospitable.
As Pepper says, I am definitely an acquired taste. As is the garlic in Grandma Stark's famous sauce. You two would have really hit it off. Like you, she had a heart of gold, but could be quite the demon when crossed. Used to frighten the crap out of Dad. I thought it gave her character. Know who else I'm pretty sure has character?
Who?
You. Bon appetit, Hunter.
The moon seals are ancient talismans of the old gods. And in your case, they are the keys to unlocking an even greater gift.
Is that why Wanda was here? In pursuit of this gift?
Just as we started with you as a child, I allowed Wanda to experiment here, with the hope of focusing her powers through training in basic elemental magic.
But that is not what happened.
Wanda's connection to the old gods, to Chthon, was not the same as yours. She isn't descended from the blood, and the trials weren't meant for her.
But you knew this before she started.
I did. And you should understand that I regret not putting a stop to her efforts sooner.
Then what really happened here?
When Wanda tried to use this moon seal to access the next trial, the Bloodgate didn't open, but the seal's power did have an effect. She had visions, both terrible and somehow alluring at the same time. What started as idle curiosity became a compulsion for her.
And now I am on the same path. So, where is the next Bloodgate?
Beyond the Standing Stones, if memory serves. I doubt you'll have any trouble finding it. We may have woken you up to save the world, but just think where the Abbey would be without your efforts, Hunter. The magical energies flowing through the grounds are converging on the altar, drawn to it like moths to a flame.
As a child, it never occurred to me how important this altar was to you.
Where would a fabled witch be without her various accoutrements? Just as your swords are an extension of your power, so too are my altar, the cauldron, and the library.
And now that the altar has been restored?
It's time we start using them to our advantage. Come by the library tomorrow night, and we'll conjure something together. Oh, and thank you again for the help, dear.
Hunter?
Ileana.
What? Oh, sorry. I was off somewhere else, thinking about my brother.
You have a brother?
Yes, Piotr. He's older, very protective. He wanted to come here with me, but... no, this part of my life isn't for him.
It is nice that he cares so much.
You'd think so, but this is more about his guilt than my safety. Piotr blames himself for not protecting me in the past. Now he sees me as some fragile bird.
That is not fair to you. You are one of the Midnight Suns, and a formidable one at that. He must see that you can protect yourself.
You don't know Piotr. To say he's immovable would be an understatement. Anyway. Thank you for talking. It is good to get out of my mind once in a while.